Caterpillar bringing jobs back to America. The heavy equipment maker is building a new plant near Athens, Georgia. It's going to employ up to 1,400 people. CAT CEO Doug Oberhelman joins me now from Atlanta. Doug, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Well, glad to be here, and I'm smiling today in Atlanta for our big announcement in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to create by 2020 up to 1,400 jobs, and you say it's going to support another 2,800 jobs, obviously from suppliers and just the rest of the businesses surrounding. My question first is really macro. I mean, what does this move from Asia to the U.S. say about the global economy? Because these are jobs you're taking out of Japan and bringing to the U.S.
Well, I think it says a lot about the global economy. One, the market for these machines, now these are small bulldozers and mini excavators, and they've only been made in Japan for 40 or 50 years for us. The market for that has shifted to the U.S., South America, and Europe. So because of I guess the flow and the competitiveness we see and everything else going around with global trade, we put those where the market is right here in the United States, and I'm very happy about that.
So we should read it as though demand is coming back in the United States for you guys, or that this just makes sense to export out of, say, the Port of Savannah down to Latin America?
Well, we avoid the freight, obviously, from Japan to the United States and South America because most of the market is here.
Right.
And we use the Port of Savannah and others down here to export both to Europe and South America. So a lot of that was involved. But beyond that, you know, we looked at Georgia and in a climate that's very friendly to expansion. Georgia, I would give the state of Georgia a lot of credit for a very competitive package to make us feel at home and really take care of our people going forward. It is about 4,000 jobs all in it when we're all done with this in 2015 or 16.
Let's dig into that and let's read into those words. Friendly to expansion, that's what you call the state of Georgia. I'd assume this is a non-union plant, is that correct?
Well, it will be a non-union plant, but that's not really the driver of this because our wage structure around the United States is very competitive everywhere we go. But it's a lot more than that. Certainly the logistics were good. Close to a port, a very aggressive port expansion program coming in the state of Georgia. Georgia's actually working on a referendum to pass an infrastructure program which will make it even more competitive. They have a very friendly tax state here and situation, and we like that. So just very friendly to business and welcoming. And I just concluded with the governor and all the officials of the state of Georgia, and it's a very warm place to be welcomed into, I can tell you that. Any
details you can give us on the kind of incentives that Caterpillar got from the state of Georgia? Because up until a few days ago, I had heard that North Carolina was still in the running for this plant.
Well, we started a very broad look last fall on this when we made the announcement we would move this plant from Japan back to the United States. And we've had inquiries from probably 24 states to offer their state. And we narrowed it down fairly quickly. And I'm not going to get into any of the specific details, but it was very competitive and very market-based. I mean, they're not. It's just the way this thing goes in this day and age. When you create 4,000 jobs, it's very competitive, and it should be, because it's a big deal for the state and a big deal for our company.
Across this country, you've got states vying for companies like yours to come in to build these big plants, to create these jobs. When we spoke last in your hometown of Peoria, Illinois, where Caterpillar is based, I asked you, one employee told me, I don't feel like Cat's going to build any more plants in Illinois right now under the current tax structure, et cetera. You confirmed that to me. Is that the reason that this plant is not in Illinois and it is in a state like Georgia?
Well, this particular plant, Poppy, was really driven by logistics because the market is in the eastern half of the United States. But the environment of that state needs improvement, and I've talked about that, and we're working with the state on that, and they know what we need and what needs to happen up there to really make it competitive, and they're making some moves to get that done, but we need a lot more action a lot quicker.